Check it out, guys. We've seen this before. This is Paul Laguna's moped build. I mean, there's loads and loads of work into this, but this is the first time I've looked at it and thought it's starting to look like a bike, because we've always seen it stripped. It sounds like it's running well. He's got quite a high performance carb on here that me and him are me and Paul are having the original versus aftermarket discussion. Some of the plans, you have seen this bike on and off actually. Some of the plans for it is neatening the fairing. So look, there's a chop line there, so that's going to come off. There's no metal underneath that, so there's no issue. That will neaten the lines. And then he'll be chopping something like following the frame up here. So he's creating basically a Street Fighter massive mopeds, because these are big old bikes anyway. Is this ULEZ compliant? No, that's a pain. You'd have to put the number plate quite far in. Put it right down there, look. Our mates are using them, flip out ones. Yeah, I mean, he's done a lot of work. Speedos, carbs, fuel pumps, a lot of work on this thing. And it's close. This ain't far off MOT. It's close. Wow.
Well, it's got an MOT.
Yeah, but will it get the next one? And then I'm here. I'm just looking at the exhaust on the Honda. Look at the top. It's gone quite rusty there. I need to clean that and neaten it. And then once it's on, I can finish the wrap up to the actual top. But you can't judge that when it's on the bike. So I'm going to clean this up now, put it back on, mount it, and then wrap it right to the top so that it's good to go.
It's smoking, Will. It's smoking.
Yeah. So guys, don't worry about the bit of smoke. Diesel went through this engine a couple of weeks back. How did Diesel go through the engine? Did you pull it in by mistake?
Yeah.
Oh, you put it in. Oh, you literally put it in. Right. This is the discussion we're having. That's a Chinese copy performance car, yeah.
PWK.
Yeah, Peter copy, and they're known for having issues. They're known for just not running right, and that's the truth. So there's a balance here between tuning it and not. What I'm saying is, let's go back to original Chinese CV carb, diaphragm carb. It'll be smoother and run better throughout the rev range. I'd be very tempted to throw one on and try it. I'm not sure what you'd have to do from a throttle cable point of view, but we could hook it up to test it, definitely. Yeah. But let me see if I've got one on the shelf, because I might have.
Okay. I get vicious to see these officers.
I got stopped, overtook someone on the curb in. And, that's not smart. And I got stopped.
How do you overtake someone on the curb?
So no, not
recklessly.
Curb. So you know, when I was working in Piaggio Studios, the roads are like that.
Yeah.
So we're on our lunch break, and we have to drive to go to the court because it's like a mile away. It's like a 5-minute, 5-minute drive, but it's like a mile.
It's almost as long as this story.
And I stopped, didn't it?
Has it always had that plate on it?
What plate? No, I did that. Guys, check out the exhaust. This side looks fine. You kind of get away with it, although the internals are wrecked. But this side, the pitting and the rust, it absolutely lets the bike down. So I'll have new end pieces eventually, but it is nice to have the exhaust back on. I do need to bring the wrap up a touch, which is easy enough. Everyone's just talking about their criminal history, so I'll turn the camera off for a bit. If you look at the lines, guys, it works. That's what we were doing some years back, street fighting mopeds. I mean, it was the most ridiculous idea, but I get why Paul's doing it. To get it through his shed, through his gate.
Who's that?
Yeah, I mean the lines. It's working. It's starting to work. Yeah. So it's a shame, innit, because it worked naked as well.
Yeah.
But you have to legally hide certain things like the fuel cap.
I think it's better for the wiring.
Better for the wiring.
Even though there's no major wiring coming up the front because that's not connected anymore. I
think it works. I think I quite like that. I'd be tempted to chop all that off.
I'm thinking about it, but I don't want to lose the steering lock.
You might have to.
Maybe.
For neatness. I'd probably chop it all off for neatness. I know what you mean. It's a bit of extra security.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
We'll come up with another way of locking it somehow.
Yeah, there's no steering lock on that WK because of the same reason. Actually, I moved the ignition, but I think it's okay sometimes. If you've got a big fat chain on your bike, it shouldn't matter too much. Both exhausts on the CB200. It seems silly, but it's great because it's taken me weeks to get to that stage. So I'm quite happy with that, and they are now wrapped to the top. I think when it comes to it, when I put new end pipes on, I'll wrap again. I'll try and get it a bit neater, and I'll wrap again. I might choose a black wrap to neaten it all up. The reason I've not used black wraps for a while is because Nat's last one, it lost its colour quite quickly. It kind of burnt in and lost its colour, so I didn't want that to happen. But pretty cool, we're getting there. I hope all of my electrical plumbing back up is right. I need to get a horn somewhere. Hopefully, hopefully it has spark and it's back to normal.
Right, it can be edited out, Brad.
We're doing a compression test.
Compression testing.
The Charlie trying to look for, I don't know, a bolt. That good?
Yeah, anything over 120 is just within serviceable range.
Dropping on a...
No, it's 125.
Leave it for a couple of minutes to see that it's holding. Although that's not an actual fair representation, because if a valve was up, for example, it would leak anyway.
Yeah.
Nothing's fine.
That's reassuring anyway. Mind you, it felt like it had good compression.
Yeah, exactly.
The salts aren't doing nothing.
Yeah, it did. So wrapping up for today, guys. Little bits done, but not stupid amounts. We were kind of chilling and chatting a lot today, which is fine. But Paul got a fair amount done on his moped, which is nice. And it's always nice to have the company. Tomorrow, not loads. Gary's coming down with his bike. There's something wrong. The new battery is either a dud or there's something shorting and draining it. So we're going to have to go over his wiring again. Them lights that he bought, they're not cheap Chinese lights. They're Chinese lights that weren't cheap. They were 50 quid or something. So they should be okay, but let's have another look over that tomorrow. Cool. As always, thanks for watching. Chuck in a like, chuck in a comment.
And the
make sure you're subscribed.